A little help from technology can make our lives much easier, right? And I'm not asking you to sign up to another tool that's going to take you 3 weeks or 3 months to learn. I'm hinting at something you probably are using every single day, a couple of times an hour, probably, but you're not using it to the fullest extent. It's very powerful. Did you already guess? Yes, it's Google. Good old Google is going to become your bestie in a few minutes. So I know people who run the other way around when I say AI or AI tools. But today you're going to get the easy version of how to use Google's tools, especially the AI features, to save time, to streamline your systems, and actually make your business more profitable. Who doesn't want that? Let me introduce my Google Tools bestie. She is the brilliant, fabulous, incredible person who's going to walk us through Google's AI. Adrienne Farrow. Adrienne is the absolute go-to for all things Google Tools. And yes, that's not her nickname, it's her brand. Go-to stands for Google Tools. And I still think after a whole year of meeting her, it is such a cool thing to coin. Go-to is Google Tools. It just makes me so happy. Adrienne has made it her mission to help entrepreneurs or solopreneurs save time and boost profits using the tools that they already have lots of access to. She helps solopreneurs and small teams get organized, set up systems, and use Google Workspace to its fullest potential. Adrienne is a rare mix. She's tech savvy and she's totally relatable. A lot of us are not like that yet. And I want to be like Adrienne. She can talk about the tech behind Google tools without making your head spin. Adrienne has been my consistent speaker at Symposium Synergy, and this is the 5th time she's speaking at Symposium Synergy. So I'm going to put 2 links in the chat in a moment. It's going to be her previous talks at Symposium Synergy, as well as her YouTube channel, which is like a brilliant library you should all be subscribed to. So trainings are practical, actionable, and the best of all, she makes it so much fun. Get ready to learn all about Google in 25 minutes. Take it, Adrienne.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adrienne. I'm so excited to be here. Excuse my voice today because I am, oops, I meant to share. Unfortunate, oh, Summer, can I share? It said I can't screen share.
Oh, why did that happen again? Go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. We're going to just do that. Okay. Excuse my voice. I am fighting something, which is always a fun thing to do. Okay, so like Summer said, I have been part of the Solopreneur Symposium for 5 times now, and I always talk about a different form of Google. And one of the big things right now is Google AI. And I don't claim to be an AI expert by any means. But what I love to focus on and what I love to teach about, especially inside my community, which is called the Go-To community, is how to use Google AI to simplify your life and to look at using it in processes and systems and ways just to make things take a little less time. And so we're just going to dive in. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of what Google AI is capable of, some of the things that you can do, and then answer any questions you have at the end. So I'm going to do a lot of jumping back and forth between my slides and some of my practical training stuff. So if we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Adrienne Farrow. I'm a Google Tools Specialist. I help online business owners tackle the digital chaos inside their Google Workspace by helping them implement systems that work for their unique brain. I like to go beyond the how to use the Google tools and more of how to implement them, what to actually do inside your workflows, inside your business to make your life a little bit easier with the tools you already use. And I am a Google for Education certified trainer, and I was also invited to the Google headquarters in 2023 to collaborate with other Google trainers, Google champions, and actually, fun fact, I was asked by Google to give a presentation tomorrow, so I am doing a presentation on the behalf of Google tomorrow. So I am deeply in the Google world, if you will, which just allows me to stay up to date on best practices, new updates, what's going on, and then I love to pass that on to my audience and my community. So Gemini, what is Gemini? Gemini is Google's version, and excuse me if you hear the bells, I work at a school as well. So we don't have any kids today, but we have conferences, so the bell just went off. Gemini is basically Google's version of ChatGPT. And so if you see this little symbol anywhere in the Google ecosphere, that is the Gemini symbol. And so that means that there is an AI capability, an integration with Gemini. and you can use the AI features of Google within whatever you're using. Google has Gemini on its own, so you can go to gemini.google.com, and it acts very similar to ChatGPT. There's some similarities in the fact that they are both accessing the internet and being trained by a lot of additional information to get answers for you, but it is a lot better for like coding and researching and like practical kind of use, a lot of like systems and processes, versus in my experience, ChatGPT has a little bit of a better memory and a little bit more better for creative. I use both. I think they both have fantastic functions. But one of the ways that Gemini kind of shines above ChatGPT is because it's a Google tool, it has integration directly with the other Google tools, which is what allows us to save some time and work on our workflows. And if you have, so this Gemini right here is free for everyone. So you can go to gemini.google.com and get Gemini access. If you want it directly integrated inside of Gmail and Docs and Slides and such, you have to either upgrade your free Gmail account to Google AI Pro, which is, and you definitely, I don't know anyone who needs this extraordinarily expensive one. But this one is the one that allows you to have some additional features like Gemini inside Gmail Docs and things like that. And then if you are a Google Workspace member, so you have a Google Workspace for your business, which is Google's business plan, very affordable. It starts as little as $6 a month. Then it's automatically included. You get some things on that, I guess $7 a month now on this level, but the $14 a month gives you everything that you need. So I just want to, I will talk a lot through here about what kind of is free and what is paid. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys that overview of some of the really cool things that you can do with Google. Does require you to have, or excuse me, what really cool things you can do with Gemini does require you to have one of the paid aspects. So let's talk about some 5 quick wins that you can do with Gemini. And then I'm actually going to go over to my training account and show you these in real time. So one of the things that is a direct integration inside of Gmail is that you can draft email replies in seconds, or even just regular emails. It has a really good summary feature, so you can summarize long threads or documents. So you can summarize, if you have a Gmail thread that's between, that has like 6, 7, 8 emails, and you're like, I didn't get a chance to read any of these yet. You can ask Gemini to summarize all of those emails for you, or documents as well. If you have a really long document, it can summarize it for you directly inside of Google Docs. You can actually generate content within Google Docs, which is one of my favorite things to do. You can clean up any data inside of Google Sheets. So if you have a bunch of data, or you even just need help with formulas or graphing, you can just ask Gemini to do that inside of Google Sheets. And then you can brainstorm ideas without even leaving your file. So inside Google Docs and Slides and Sheets is Gemini, like a Gemini sideboard, which I'm going to show you. And you can actually just start asking and talking to Gemini directly within Google. One of the things I didn't put here, but is really great, is that Gemini is really good at image creation as well. And that is a really new feature inside of Google Slides. So this is what Gemini looks like here inside of when you go to gemini.google.com. We're going to just pop over for a really quick second to look at the Gmail and Docs integration. And then when I talk about how some of the tools are integrated here, I will pop back over to Gemini. And I do have a timer going so that I don't go over my time. Well, hopefully be fine. All right. So if I am here on this email, I can just pop over to this little Ask Gemini, and it will give me some ideas of what Gemini can do here. But if I just click summarize this email, it will give me a summary of what this email is about. Again, you can do that for like really long emails. This one, most of my training emails are just newsletters that I've subscribed to and stuff. But it will help give you the prompts that you need, all the details that you need, and then you can even continue to chat with it more to get more information. But if you go to the reply, this help me write is Gemini within, directly within here. So if I go to help me write, I get this blue bar. And so I can say, respond to Holly, letting her know how excited I am for her workshop. And then create. and then I'll get a draft of that email. And then what I'm able to do from here is I can either say, nope, I want you to do a new one because I don't like how you did that, or let's refine it, let's formalize it, let's elaborate it on it, let's shorten it. So I never recommend, whenever I teach AI, I never say, okay, just directly send this, to this person right after you get an AI response. I always recommend refining it, making it sound more like you. But it's a really good first place if you have any like writer's block when you're ready to go for responding to emails. Hopping over to Google Docs. Here's the Gemini symbol again. I'm actually going to this time ask it to create something for me. So right here, you can see that there's some Gemini inside here. We can have it generate a document and help me write, but I'm also going to put it over here. I'm going to say, write a short article on why dogs make great pets. And then here, Gemini is also really fast. That's another thing that I love about Gemini. But once it's written it here, you can then click this insert, and it'll directly insert it into your Google Doc. And so now I have this article that I can then, adjust as I need to. I'm just using this as primarily just some really quick ways of demonstrating, but you can have it, insert it directly into your Google Doc. Now, if I highlight everything, I can go to this refine button, and then I can modify this with a prompt. I can also rephrase, shorten, elaborate, make it more formal. So I'm going to elaborate it. And what it's going to do here is it's going to, make it longer, and then I can continue to talk to it, refine it, do whatever I need to do, and before I insert it again. So I can kind of tailor it to what I need to do here before I insert it. And of course, my Zoom buttons are right over the insert part here. I can insert it, which will just make it go right after, or I could replace it. And so I'm going to click replace so that it is replacing what I had before. So those are like some really super, super quick ways Gemini is integrated within Google Tools. In the interest of time, I'm going to move on because there's so much you can do. But I really want to talk for a minute about how inside of Gemini itself, you can connect directly to your Google Tools. So inside of Gemini, you have to toggle it on, but it will integrate with your Gmail, your Google Calendar, your Docs, Drive, Google Keep, and Google Tasks. So one of the things that I like to do from a productivity standpoint is basically kind of talk to it about my week and help it plan my week for me and help me plan tasks and things like that. So I can prompt it, and this is my training account, so it will just pull some dummy data. But I can say something along the lines of or please check my Google Calendar. What do I have scheduled for the rest of this week? And then you're going to see here, it's going to pop up, see Google Calendar connecting. And then it says you have 2 events scheduled for the rest of this week: tutoring on Thursday, the 23rd, or pick up the children from school on Thursday. Okay. And I can say, okay, wonderful. Add dinner with my parents on Friday, or we'll just do Thursday. On Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. And then it will directly add to my Google Calendar an event for my dinner with my parents. And then I can say, please cancel tutoring. And then it will go ahead and go and cancel tutoring. And then now I can say, please draft an email to my student letting them know I cannot tutor on Thursday. And then now it's going to draft an email, and it's going to pull it over here. And they call this Canvas. And this is kind of almost like a word processing part where you can actually then edit things inside here. So maybe I don't want to say sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. I can say, I am sorry that I could not meet this week. So you can actually directly edit it within here. And then when you go here, you can, sorry, I want to go to this button. You can either copy the content or export it to docs. There is also some more Gmail aspect to it, but part of it is kind of tricky with sending drafts and things like that back and forth, but it's really good at like checking your Gmail and finding an email. The last thing I want to show you before I go on to Notebook LM is that you can also do Google Tasks in here. And Google Tasks is Google's like to-do list aspect. So I can say, please add these tasks to my Google Tasks with a due date of Thursday. And then I can say, pick up flowers for dinner and email student about no tutoring. And then it should, yep, now it's pulling up Google Tasks. And then it is, okay, it should have deleted it. Okay, yes, delete. And then sometimes you're going to get this. It is AI. I will say that sometimes AI does have a mind of its own. So sometimes you do have to go back and like refine it and whatnot. But in the spirit of time, I only have like 5 minutes left. So I want to show you one of my absolute favorite Google tools that is very unique on the AI side, and that is Notebook LM. Notebook LM is super unique because it is basically your personal AI research assistant. It does not access the internet and it is not trained on any data. So what you can do is upload sources directly to what they call a notebook inside of Notebook LM. And then you can talk to the AI about the sources that you have. And it will only reference those sources. So it will only pull quotes or data or anything like that from those sources. It will not try and access anything else to give you any kind of data. So Notebook LM is great to like upload your transcripts from calls that you have for your community, or maybe your podcast episodes, or if you're taking a course, all of the course material. And then you can pull out information from that. And I like to say it's a great first step before you go on to like use something like Gemini or ChatGPT or something like that in to do some of the creative. And Notebook LM is free for everyone. The main difference is just how many notebooks you can create and how many sources that you can upload. So here's an example of the what it looks like on the inside. You can upload sources from your Google Drive, websites, YouTube, anything that it can extract text from. So for a YouTube video, it takes the transcript from the YouTube video. So it has to be a public one in order for it to do it. You can put in audio and it will transcribe it to grab that transcript for you. And then you can ask it questions and just talk back and forth about it. It'll automatically summarize your sources for you. And then you get a whole bunch of different versions of like output. So it can do a mind map for you, it can do a report, or it can do these really super cool audio overviews. And so the last thing I want to show you before I wrap up, let me find my Zoom thing, is I want to make sure that I can share my audio on this because the audio overviews are a version, it's like a podcast where two hosts are talking back and forth, summarizing or talking about whatever sources you have in here. And it sounds eerily real. So let me know if you can hear it. Let's see.
Choosing the right food for your dog.
Yes.
It feels like more than just, well, feeding them, doesn't it? It's really a critical decision, directly impacting their energy, their health, kind of like how our own diets affect us.
Exactly. It's fundamental. So today, we're diving deep into canine nutrition. Think of this as your shortcut your guide to getting properly informed.
We've sifted through, a lot of guides, research, expert takes.
Right, we're cutting through the noise.
Yeah.
Our aim is to give you some maybe surprising facts, but definitely practical takeaways you can actually use.
Yeah, our mission today.
So it's really cool, but kind of like eerily creepy of how real it can sound. But it's really great to if you have a lot of information and you are an auditory processor like me, to get that summary in a version that is you're able to consume in that way it's really cool. And they have these new video overview now, which I haven't really delved into yet, but they're there. So wrapping up, oh my gosh, I had 55 seconds and Summer, I'm on the dot for you.
You still have 3 minutes. You still have 3 minutes.
Oh, I still have 3 minutes?
Because I took
Awesome.
the time to introduce you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I'm very conscientious about the time that I that I have. So I wanted to say, thank you for watching. And this is my free gift for everyone. It's my series Google A to Z, and it is 26 different tips and tricks about Google, things you might not have known that Google can do or that you can do using Google tools. And it's just a wonderful way to just dive into the aspects of Google that you may or may not know about, and then also get to know me, be part of my audience, etc. And then I also have a Facebook group that I highly encourage that you join. I know Summer's in there, and there's some other people that are in there as well from that are watching. And it's just a great place if you come across an issue that you're having with Google or a question you have to pop it in there. And if I don't have a chance to answer it, some other people will. I know someone posted one recently, and by the time I got there was already the answer and a couple, chats about it. And it's also my way of giving you kind of some updates and things like that. And then if you're a VIPer, I put it in kind of last minute. But my gift is it's a workshop I held recently about Notebook LM. So you can take more of a deep dive that goes into exactly how to use it, how to upload the sources, what you can do with it. And so that is my gift for you. So you'll get access to that, and the coupon code I think expires at the end of the month. So with that, I'd love to take any questions. I know it was a super, super quick overview, but I just want to give you that taste of Google AI is pretty cool, and the integration is even cooler, in my opinion, into what Google can do. So
Question.
I've not had a chance to look at the chat or anything, so let me.
Jessica has a question.
Okay, yeah.
There's no questions in the chat yet, but a couple of VIP questions soon.
I do have a question. This is actually super good timing. So I don't have a Google Workspace. I don't use Gmail for my work. I have a formal email address, so I never did that. But I do.
Oops. You froze, Jessica?
Yeah. I thought that was me that froze.
That's a nice post to freeze in.
Yeah, right? And speaking of my YouTube is it's been a little dormant recently, but it's coming back. It's coming back soon.
Oh, but there's so much goodies in there anyways. While
Yep.
we wait for Jessica, Janet has a question.
There we go. Oh, wait, I lost you. There we go. No, I just want to say, Adrienne, this is very powerful. Of course, AI is a tool. It's a very powerful tool. And I do use it. I think we all should use it to a certain extent, not to replace ourselves as human, but very powerful. I've not used Gemini before, so I appreciate that, the walkthrough of Gemini. Now, what would you say, sort of as a specialist, a Google tool specialist, do you use other AI tools? Like, why would you pick Google compared to others? Would love your thought on that.
I think, yeah, no, definitely. And I talked a little bit about it at the beginning. I do use multiple AI tools because I think they all have something that they're good at. Gemini doesn't have the memory capability like ChatGPT does. And I find that ChatGPT is really good for creative and whatnot. If I'm trying to research something and get a deep dive into something, or I'm like having a specific integration into Google, I'll go into Gemini and do it because it's really easy just to like I showed you, like talk back and forth about my calendar. It's easier for me to have that in a chat than to go between the multiple tools. The other thing I do is I'll put the same prompt into both ChatGPT and Gemini, and then I'll see which one the answer that I like better. And then sometimes I find that ChatGPT is giving me something better. Gemini, sometimes I find has given me something better. The last thing is Gemini tends to have better image creation and it's faster. So I would definitely not look at it as it's replacing a tool, but like I have it at my disposal. It's free for me to use, or if I have a paid workspace, it's included in that. And then see where it takes you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jessica.
Hopefully this doesn't happen when I give my presentation, right? So I pay for 2 terabytes of storage in Google, but I've become addicted to creating images. I create them everywhere. And ChatGPT, I do also use DeepSeek, but not for images, obviously, because it doesn't have that. But yeah, Gemini is much faster, but I still make images in both because you get, like you said, different stuff. But I've been prompted to get the pro version of Gemini, and I'm tempted to.
Mm-hmm.
It says it comes with 2 terabytes of storage when I get the pro, but what I want to know is that in addition to the 2 terabytes of storage, I didn't buy it because it's really hard to talk to someone from Google because I'm like, okay, is that the 2 terabytes I'm already paying for, or is this a brand new 2 terabytes because I could use all the storage I could get, and I don't have a workplace. I just have a standard account what I pay for extra storage for.
You have a Gmail account, and then you pay for the extra storage with your Gmail account.
Because I have tons of images and videos, and I just
like
it, and I've become addicted. I'm having so much fun.
Let me look into that. I can't give you a straight answer right now. I can double check with someone. Yeah, it is a really good question. My thought is, I wanted to say my thought is that you would get 2 additional because you're paying for 2 separate things. The only thing could be because what you're paying for Google One, which is your extra storage, and then you'd be paying for the AI which would be an extra piece.
So
yeah.
maybe it would even be a different email address. I don't know. But the other thing that bothers me is my Gemini. So my ChatGPT, because I pay for the paid version, on my phone app as well as on my desktop talk to each other. So I save all my research, but my Gemini and my desktop and my app don't talk to each other unless maybe I upgrade. So I don't know, because I asked it too. I'm like, how come I'm not seeing the stuff I did on my phone on my thing? And
you should. I would just double check and make sure you're in the right account, because it should in theory do that. The workspace part, workspace is different than the AI Pro that you're talking about. So workspace is going to be your complete business part, which would give you'd have to connect it to a domain, and you'd get your name at whatever your domain is. And then the AI Pro is like the upgraded AI for just Gemini, for Gmail.
Maybe I'll get back to you offline and figure out which of those 2 options is a better decision for me and all that. So thanks for your time.
Feel free.
Amazing presentation. I'll stay in touch.
No
with
problem.
You. I don't want to mess up
Sounds
the
great.
time this summer.
No
Thank you, Jessica. I have questions from 2 VIPs. 2 questions from 2 different VIPs. First thing, Adrienne, to compare ChatGPT with Gemini, what are the trade-offs you're seeing in terms of accuracy, bias, or transparency?
Good question. Depending on how you're using it. I'm just trying to think about how I want to phrase this. I don't know if I'm seeing, and maybe because I've trained my ChatGPT quite well, I'm not seeing as much issues that are coming up, but I also don't use it for a lot more than just rewrite this email or help me synthesize data, or I brainstorm and things like that. What you can do deep research inside of Gemini as well. And I have paid attention to the sources that you can do inside of deep research. And I have found that the sources have been a good, like it's done a good job of collecting sources. If it hasn't gone off to do sources that I think are, maybe not relevant to that particular topic. But I think it's a good point that you always do have to look at it, especially chat. I noticed ChatGPT is really good at it. Gemini, maybe not so much, but ChatGPT does do a lot of confirmation bias. So it does tend to be like, yes, that's a great idea, Adrienne. And I'm like, no, I actually want you to maybe give me a different point of view. And so that again comes down to how you prompt it, and how you give it the information that you want to have it to say. Act like this, tell me both sides. And then sometimes you might find that it like does kind of go off on its way. And then you have to say, okay, no, I remember the instructions that I gave you. I don't know if I can answer that to a full extent. I think those are just my thoughts, but it's a good thing for us all just to be critical. Yeah, to be critical of, you know what I mean? Like, don't take anything that comes out of these as verbatim as something that's truth. Like, look at it with a critical eye.
That is true. So many times I've asked questions where it blatantly lied to me, and then I had to say, no, I think the correct answer is this. And ChatGPT just says, good catch, Summer. Like,
Yes.
duh.